Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop on the charts on this beautiful Thursday, June 4th, make sure you review this on the screen. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I sure as hell do not provide financial advice. I don't make suggestions or recommendations of any kind. Make sure you always do your own research, make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop firm accounts and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer. This is I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Like Top of Futures, Code RDF, Bookmap, others. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for me to note that. For you to do your own damn research, make your own damn decisions. Guys. We are coming into the open here. I want to do something here. I want to get my chart marked up first and foremost. Let's go ahead and run through this pretty quick. I continue to not be able to hop on the charts early enough with you guys to have a whole lot of time pre-market to run through. But hopefully, if you've been watching for the last infinite amount of time, you have a pretty good idea of what the hell I'm doing here, because I do the same thing, the same boring thing almost every day. We are marking up overnight high, overnight low. We got prior week high, prior week low, prior week value area high, value area low, volume point of control. Some of those come into play a little bit more than others. We got a couple discretionary levels on the chart. YM is now marked up, ready to roll. I want to mark up NQ as well, because I do want to watch NQ off of the open a little bit more. What I'd like to do is not miss beautiful trades like I had yesterday on NQ, because I'm just watching YM not do anything. So I'm going to come back to YM here after we get chart. Be looking for, boop, that bad boy right here. VWAP, current volume point of control, yesterday's volume point of control, big high volume node. I'm looking for the mean reversion trade back down here. That's my play on YM. If we sell off into the open, I don't want it, right? If we just, sell off immediately, right here, right now, I don't want it. There's a short play into the open. We talked about that yesterday, where, being super aggressive into the open. I don't really like to do that, but that's a trade right there, okay? I'd be looking for a quick pop-up, sweeping overnight high, getting really aggressively short right in here, near all-time highs, anticipating that we at least get some pullback into the open. Don't know if we get that, but that's what I'm looking at here on YM. Now, okay, let's get rid of that. Now, we're going to be fast today, guys. I'm going to say what's up to you in the chat in just a minute, okay? Now, let's hop over to NQ. Should I mark up MNQ on this? Yeah, I'm going to mark up MNQ on this one. Volatility is just too big for this yesterday, and probably too big for it today. I want to at least give myself a couple scalps, and I can't really do that with big minis. Gonna mark up current value area high, volume point of control, value area low, coming off the 1 minute chart on the session volume profile. Value area low. Volume point of control is where it should be. Value area high is where it should be. Beautiful. Real quick, let's get prior day high, prior day low, overnight high, overnight low. Very important. Very important. What is all of this? Go away. Don't want that. What is this? Very different structure here on NQ. Ooh. YM's gonna sell off right back to VWAP. Come on, man. Give me that money. Chat, I'm going to talk to you guys in just a minute. I'm going to get this marked up quick with you. If you have questions after this, if you're watching this and you're like, I don't get it. What is he talking about? I don't know what overnight high and overnight low is. We'll talk about it in just a minute. Just ask me in the chat and I'll come back to it. ONH, overnight high. Area that price trades from session changeover to 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Overnight low. Bang. Prior day high, prior day low. I don't need volume point of control from last week on this one. Prior day low. We got time to do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. Do I want it? Coming from Sunday. Whoa, not the monthly. That's crazy. We're on the 1 minute scalping here aggressively. Yeah, it's overlapping. I don't need a bunch more levels in here. I get it. I get it here, guys. This is going to be a key spot if we got all the way down here, but I'm not really that concerned with that just yet. Looking at the 15-minute chart. Aggressive sell-off here on NQ. Not quite the same at all on YM. We are down below VWAP. We sold off pretty aggressively in London Open, at London Open. Trending to the downside here. Overnight low, well down below yesterday's low. This is a definitely a bearish open all the way down outside of this. I think we got two interesting spots above and below price here, coming down to this next area of high volume. All of this overlapping volume points of control, right? Support, resistance, supply and demand, order block, liquidity, sweep, bank manipulation, whatever you want to call a random line that I draw on my chart, okay? I'm going to lean into my simplicity and discretion. That's where I'm going with this, guys. I think we could see a quick pop right back up here to current volume point of control. Maybe yesterday's close, somewhere around this open in here, right? Coming up to this this area of high volume. But this is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting here. I'm probably not going to do anything too crazy into the open, man. This overnight low level is really interesting for an aggressive long. But I'm probably not going to do anything too crazy. Now that we are almost opening up, back over to YM on the 15-minute chart. We're pushing to the upside. We're going to have to adjust that overnight high level right down to the wire here. Going to look for a short, guys. Like I said, oh, it's not going to give it to me. Got to fade it right into the open these days, man. I'm going to have to fade it literally right into the open. Immediate crack above overnight high. Do we crack prior day high? Do we test a little bit higher right into this level right in here? No, we just sell off at the open. Do we just pull? We pulled yesterday, or we just go right off the open? We popped right off the open yesterday. Do we just sell off the open today? Kind of looks like it. Chat. Guys, I'll talk to you in just a minute, but we got movement today, and God, yeah, it's going to be right into the open type trade. It's going to be a right into the open type trade if I'm going to get this. Just looking at what NQ is doing real quick. Taking a look at what ES is doing real quick. Very choppy, slow-moving market on ES. Some VWAP chop. Yeah, man, I think if I'm going to get this fade, it's going to be like now. I'm going to take this one, guys. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take this short on YM on a crack of overnight high for a sell-off back towards VWAP, back towards that area of high volume. If we come above the all-time highs in here, prior day high, all-time high of 51,443 by 75 points, I'm out. I'm out, okay? I got 75 points above that all-time high for a stop-loss level. That's going to be my play. No fixed take profit on this. I run something way outside just in case I go to step away. I'm looking for a really aggressive crack back down, right? If we just want to take off in one direction and we get absolutely no mean reversion at all today, that's fine. If we have to trade 200 points to the upside after cracking overnight high and prior day high and just keep going, I'm wrong, right? I'm dead wrong. There's no mean reversion. There's no pullback down to VWAP here. You know, there's no pullback down to this midnight open, this session open, right? This huge area of high volume here. This prior day's volume point of control. We're not going to stay within this range, right? We're not going to stay within the top end of this range. Sorry for the ugly drawing. And come back down to this big chunk of volume here, or at least this big chunk of volume here, right? We're just going to take off and blast. That's where I would be wrong. So I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable taking an L on that one if I have to. Short from 51,000, 313. Let me go ahead and mark this. Uh, 517 and 313. Cool. And we're looking for a move back down in here. VWAP would be fine. VWAP would be fine. That would be really beautiful. I'd probably say something like that. Something like that's really reasonable. All right. Short YM. Again, I'll come and say what's up in the chat in just a minute here, guys. I'm going to watch YM over here on Bookmap just in case it does start to sell off while I come to check MNQ on the 1 minute. Let's go ahead and just correct our markup here. Current volume point of control has shifted all the way down here. Value area high has shifted right into the open. We got a lot of volume traded. And what did I do with value area low? Value area low. Right in here. You know what? I should probably just do this. And just stop messing with it. Let's go with that. With that. Oh no. Sorry guys, I'm not gonna mark it up anymore. I'm just gonna be lazy about it. Or maybe just efficient about it. Sorry. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. What I did there was change a setting on the session volume profile to extend to the right the volume point of control, value area high, value area low, so I don't have to go back and mark it up 27 times throughout the trading session. Just taking a look here on NQ. Again, I've had some really, really clean setups for these scalpy movements closer to the open, kind of like YM. Don't really have anything too quick on this. You know, sells from VWAP, maybe. Just to zoom out on this a little bit, right? We got an area here. We got an area that we were trading back up to here for sure, right? We want to dip our toes back up here and then find some sellers. That could be that continuation of this overall trend to the downside, right? You know, looking for we chopped off the open, break down, trend to the downside, pull back up, right? Take out liquidity here, retest this really clean area in here, hit VWAP, and then start to sell off back down, right? You know, that could be an opportunity right in here to try to catch this leg down. A little aggressive, you know, right into the open. I don't know that I want to mess with that, so watch YM. All right, now that we're in marked up, that was about, what was that, about 20 minutes of aggressive chart markup, analysis, and entering a trade. Happy Thursday, boys. We're getting it done. What is happening, guys? What is happening? Morning Legends, what's up, everybody? Mahin NQ, Dwayne, what's up? Adil King, what's up? Bags, what's up? Sloth, Kobe Clark on kick. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. What's happening on YouTube, Kick and X? Good morning, good morning. YM making crazy swings this week. What's going on? Yeah, it's moving. What's happening? Abadi, what's happening? Vincent, Sand the Trader. What's going on? Zach, you take mean reversion scalps on NQ or trade it differently? Yeah, I talked a little bit about it yesterday. More scalpy continuation style movements. Overall, guys, my approach, and again, this is what I decided I'm going to lean into, right? I'm building out a lot behind the scenes. I'm thinking about the way that I want to convey my trading, what I think is the most helpful. What are the fundamental principles that I really believe in? And what I really truly believe and have found the most success in is it's not the strategy, okay? It's not the strategy. Do we need some combination of technicals and fundamentals and order flow or something to apply consistency in the markets and a consistent way to manage risk and manage our trades day over day? Of course. But why can you hand a trader a strategy and they can't make money for years, right? Why can you hand a trader a strategy with a proven edge and they can't execute it, right? Because it comes from confidence. It comes from experience. It comes from the subjective interpretation of all of those tools and that strategy, right? To be a human. We're not bots. I just posted about this. We're not bots. We're not algorithms, right? If it was the strategy, why would we be here clicking the button? So overall, I think focusing on the way that you're thinking about trading, right? Creating some consistent way to trade, right? Your approach to the market, some consistent way to manage risk, but focusing on the way that you're thinking about trading, tracking your data in a really simple way, and just trying to do a little bit more of what's working and a little bit less of what's not working is the way that I want to go about this. NQ and YM, as much as I try to define exactly what I do, it's very discretionary, right? Consistent markup, consistent approach. You see me do the same things over and over and over again, but the subtle nuances are what makes the difference. And that's true for every strategy. It's true for every strategy. It's true for every manual trader that you see. If you're on the hunt to create a bot or an algorithm, I don't know what you're doing here. You probably just want to be talking to Claude and, locking yourself in a room. I haven't seen very many at all be able to make anything like that work consistently over a long period of time without constant manual intervention. So here we are. So long way to say I trade NQ similarly, but not exactly the same. More aggressive, scalpier, not exactly this big swing mean reversion that I'm looking for on YM near the open or throughout the session. More opportunity to scalp intraday movements on NQ. Very aggressive, generates a lot of wins, a lot of losses, right? Probably not going to be for the faint of heart on the 1 minute and 30-second chart. Hi, what's up? Do you still recommend Top 1 Futures as a good company? Yeah, I think they're a great company. I think they're a fantastic company. Still recommend Top 1 Futures. I talk about them all the time. The last video that I posted on Instagram and YouTube was recommending Top 1 Futures. I think they're one of the best. What trade is let enter? I don't know what that means. Elite Step Gaming, what's up? Nate, what's up? Please drop the signal. Is this chart okay? So first off, let's back this up. Nothing that I do here is signals, guys. Just what we talked about here. Signals don't work. They've never worked. They're not going to work now. They're not going to work later. They don't work. Okay, it's a waste of time. Even if they did work, you'd be reliant on somebody else, and that's tethering yourself like a dog to another, trader or algorithm, right? Not helpful. This is YM, which would be the US 30 chart in CFDs. Are your entries only in NYC? I think you meant to say NYSE session. No. I'll swing trade overnight. I'll run stuff through Asia, London. NQ was perfect buy. Was it? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know what was so perfect about a buy on this one. We didn't take out overnight low. We popped right back to VWAP, which was really nice. Nice mean reversion all the way back up here. So I do like that. We took off the open, but we're selling right back off. So I don't know. I don't know about long and NQ. Again, what I was looking for on NQ is if we swept down overnight low. I find overnight low, prior day high and low to be really, really interesting levels on NQ to look for at least bounce off of. But yeah, the way that I read the chart is going to be different than you. So don't let me tell you it's not a perfect buy. That might be your beautiful entry signal, right? It might pay you extremely well. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So anyway, the dude that was asking that, Alan McKinn could do, it seems like you're here for a signal, or you kept saying what trade, drop a signal. Like that's not what we're doing here, right? I'm showing you how I trade. I'm showing you my approach. I'm talking about the important things that are going into trading, so you might find some value, right? Or at least for entertainment purposes. If you're just on somebody's stream to try to copy their strategy or copy their trades, you're going to lose money. 110% guarantee over a long period of time. I've never, ever seen anything work out like that. Not at all. You have to create your own, approach. You can take things from other people. You can take ideas. You can take levels. You can take, markup. You can take approaches, strategies. You got to make it your own, though. Shorts got ripped. Morning gang. We talked about that. Are you gonna trade NFP tomorrow? Yeah, I'm gonna trade the morning. I don't trade like intentionally the 8:30. When is NFP tomorrow? Is it 8:30 or is it? Yeah, I don't trade NFP in the sense of like I'm gonna trade 8:30 a.m. right? I'm gonna like YOLO full port NFP. I don't do that, or I don't trade the aftershock like some traders call it. But I will trade NFP Friday. I don't find it a great day to trade in general. But I'm gonna be looking for some trades in the morning with you guys for sure. Doesn't YM go up if NQ goes down? No, not typically. ES and NQ are typically highly correlated assets. YM is also a correlated asset, meaning that if NQ goes down, YM goes down, right? Now, it's not nearly as correlated as the other two are, right? YM tends to live in its own world. It's just got a lot of different underlying drivers, right? The Dow Jones Industrial 30. But it's a U.S. indice, right? So typically if, we have stock market crashing on the U.S. indices, right? That would include a broad spectrum of, U.S. companies that are included across all of them. They are not inherently inversely correlated, though. They are inherently on a bigger time frame, higher picture, correlated, right? YM, I find, tends to just live in its own world, right? Some days it's moving in what seems like exact correlation with ES and NQ. It's leading them. Other days it's doing the exact opposite, right? Again, the what it's built on is just quite different, right? NASDAQ very tech heavy, broad spectrum on the S&P 500. Dow Jones Industrial Average gives it away, so quite different. But it certainly lives in its own world. I don't trade them in correlation or lack of correlation. A lot of traders do. There's nothing wrong with that. I just prefer not to do that. I don't find it to help me create a better edge. But hopefully that helps answer that question. As we push to the upside here, man, no mean reversion on YM. Happy to get in early on this one. Happy to get in, not early, but happy to take this one aggressively right into the open as we started to push to the upside here and then catch a little bit of sellers. We chopped here a bit, looking for this mean reversion to play out. This is starting to feel like one of those days where we may not get it. We certainly have an opportunity at prior day high here to revert, right? All-time high. We're cracking prior day high. We're going to go test this high right here. We got a chance to just pull one of those blow off top moves, right? Where we just pick up a ton of liquidity and then whip back down. Won't survive anything like that. But stop loss is where it needs to be. Stop loss is where it needs to be for this one. Again, I trade a mean reversion movement on YM, right? What do I mean by that? Here's 930 open. Look at how nicely that played out, right? Here's not every day, right? That's an insane movement, but look at how nicely that played out. Mean reversion, right? Look at how, where's our 930 in here, right? Yeah, look at how nicely that played out. Came back into VWAP, came back into volume point of control. Today, looks like we want to keep pushing to the upside, right? Back and forth movement here, back and forth movement here, back and forth movement here, right? Typically not taking off in one direction and just continuing to rip. That's what we're getting today, though, man. It's going to be an ugly live trading week for me, for sure. If I take this stop, it's going to be 3 stops and a couple break evens. That's what I'm shaping up for. part of the game. I'm happy to not be one of the guys on YouTube to say, trading's so easy. I can't remember, you know, ever taking losses. We win every day, 100% win rate. You know, maybe there's somebody out there with that, but certainly not me. I'm going to take wins. I'm going to take losses. I'm going to go on really beautiful winning streaks, and I'll take some losses consecutive. Not a big down week by any means. It's just slow. Couple of no trades, couple of losses. No beautiful mean reversion out of YM. Couple small L's on NQ, scalping aggressively. Might be one of those weeks, boys. Early, we're only halfway to a stop here. Not traded NQ yet this morning, which I have marked up, or MNQ I should say. But no aggressive mean reversion. Blasting right through the highs, taking off in one direction, really from the open here, and just drifting higher. I got to take this trade, you know, every day for sure. But this is an aggressive push that just does not look like we want to catch that initial reversion at all. Still got a chance to pull back down. If we do, I don't know that I'm holding for a really big reversal on something like this. But that's just a nasty drive higher. Part of the game. Got to take my L's, man. I've been on an insane heater this year. Overall, insanely high win rate. More payouts than I've ever taken from prop firms consecutively. Getting paid out more days, more weeks. You know, profit in live accounts, really across the board. So, you know, if I sit here seemingly unfazed about taking a couple losses, you know, maybe some no trades on YM, that's why, right? You know, I understand the game of probabilities that we're playing. I'm not going to win every day. I'm certainly not going to win even close to every day. And I'm going to have those weeks where, you know, it's just survival mode. Put your trades on as they come, trying to do anything too stupid. But, you know, it's L's and break evens. But that's part of it. Part of it, man. I'd love to hop on here and win back-to-back-to-back, which we do pretty often. We do pretty often, but it's certainly not every day. Certainly not every day. It's not going to be every week that's going to be a beautiful green week. Traditionally, I'm going to have plenty of red days. I'm going to have a decent number of red weeks, plenty of red weeks, and I'm going to have a few red months throughout the year. I'll have a few close to flat months, small red, small green, you know, break even. I'll have some modestly green months, and then hopefully some really green months. All right, that's typically what my trading, you know, year will look like. There are some traders out there that seem to be just absolute dogs. They're incredibly consistent, but for the most part, what I find from most traders is similar. Right, a lot of survival, a lot of break even back and forth, capitalizing on really, really good conditions, running up, right, running up accounts, live accounts, putting big profit. Running up prop accounts to payouts, right? Getting kicked live, and then some downtime, right? Some downtime in between. Kind of like I'm getting this week. This looks like it's going to be a nice quick stop off the open. I'll hop over to NQ, trade some of the Lucid live accounts that I was trading yesterday, but I'm burying this one with a couple of $1,000 losses this week. A mean one, man. Big push off the open. No pullback whatsoever. No mean reversion. Coming for the stop loss 20 minutes into the session. Trading the 500s. Maybe we trade to 51,500. Huge round psychological number. I got 12 points on that. 17 points on that, excuse me. I'd be shocked if we didn't take the stop at this point, but stranger things have happened. Damn, I got wicked out on Dow Jones yesterday, and now it hit my target. Yeah, part of the game. Good morning, Zach. Eugene Bergen. No. Okay. I don't know, bro. I don't know what you're saying in the chat, but you let me know. First time here, do you also trade NQ or just Dow? I trade NQ as well. Dow is my bread and butter. YM is my bread and butter. Pays me exceptionally well. I've had literally no trades on Dow except for today, this week. This is the first one, so I won't say today is paying me exceptionally well. Looks like it's going to stop me for 1,000. Overall, large sample size of trades, incredibly well paid on Dow. You know, with some losses like potentially today. But I'm going to hop over to NQ and look to scalp if I take the L on this one. I'm going to load up the Lucid accounts that I hopped into yesterday and run the same play. Morning, man. What's up, Chris? Dre, facts. For sure. For sure, for sure. Yeah, I think we were talking about signals. We were talking about signals, man. Signals are a waste of time. Signals are a waste of time, in my humble, biased opinion. Checking a couple messages here. Let's see what we got rolling, man. Sloth, we got a post on a W. I'll have to check it out, man. Yeah, guys, again, if you're not in the free Discord, hop on in. I have some stuff cooking behind the scenes. Right? And you've probably noticed in Discord, I've been a lot less active. I haven't been responding with my long voice messages the way that I have in the past. Because there's just so damn many of you. Cooking on something where I am going to be extremely hands-on. Cooking on something like that, man. Should be next week. I'll keep you guys updated. But if you want to hop in the 100% free Discord right now, link is in the chat. You guys will be the first to know about it. Even though I have consistent months, it's very hard for me to accept the red days. I had to automatically limit my DLL on the broker. Enrique. Yeah, man. That's the tough part of trading, right? That's the tough part of trading. You have consistent months, right? You start to figure out something that works. Start to figure out a strategy and approach that works. And then you have to realize, how am I going to handle myself? How am I going to handle this when you have a week like maybe me this week, where it's just very slow. Every trade you put on seems to be a loss, even though, you know, they're good trades. You just get no market agreement. You get price stopping you out left and right, though. You know, even if you're making money, even if you're mostly green, even if you're, you know, taking really solid setups, right? How are you going to handle yourself in that random nature of probabilities, right? I think it comes from two areas for me, you know, two big areas. Number one, understanding the nature of probabilities, right? You know, if you have a 50% win rate and you have a nice positive risk to reward, you know, just mapping that out as it looks like we're going to take a stop. It's a good thing to talk about. If you go to flip a quarter, right, you're eventually going to hit heads a handful of times in a row, right? 5, 6, 7 times in a row. You're going to hit tails 5, 6, 7 times in a row. The quarter is not broken. Your strategy is not broken, right? You know, the game of probabilities hasn't shifted past the 50%. That's just the nature of a random distribution, right? Of wins and losses. That's the functionality of probabilities. That's the math, right? Along with that, you're going to have to deal with positive and negative variance, right? The market's going to shift. It's going to do things that it wasn't doing last week, last month, right? You're not going to execute well. You're going to deal with execution errors as we get ready to take this one. You're going to deal with, you know, being out of the pocket, not reading the market well, right? Stepping outside of your rule set, whatever that is. Wow, still in by the skin of my teeth here. But looks like this is going to be the stop. Beautiful. Beautiful. L that I got to take on the chin, boys. But yeah, it comes from that area, not to do anything stupid. And then the second piece is just general discipline, right? So you understand trading, you understand the markets, you understand what you need to do and not do, right? And, you know, after taking a loss, you know, not go on tilt, not do anything crazy, not YOLO the account, right? But then you have to build discipline to actually follow that. Knowing it is not enough, right? We all know what we should and shouldn't do. It's actually doing it, right? And I think that comes from experience on the charts, putting your hand on the stove enough times by doing something stupid, but also just building discipline in your outside life. Building discipline off of the charts that you bring with you on the charts. I think it's extremely important. So that's going to be L number one, guys. I'm going to hop out of this account real quick and onto a 50K Lucid live account. 50K Lucid live account. Hang tight. Same move as yesterday. Let's get back into the Lucid live. Logging in through Tradeovate. I'm still completely flat on both of these. But that's going to be, that's really going to be lights out for my Top 1 Futures account. That's going to be lights out for that live. We are good to go. Good to go. As you can see, delayed data on this because I don't have CBOT data on YM. But we do have CME data for NQ and MNQ. Let's get ready on this one. Yeah, man, never fun to take an L, like, at all. I'd love to hop on here every day and take wins with you guys and say, look at how great I am. But, you know, that's just not what trading is, at least for me. Again, you know, I haven't found anybody that has figured out how to never lose. Again, if you go back through my live trading, if you take a look at my data, especially this year, man, I run a nasty high win rate. Higher than I should have. Really higher than I should have. But, still going to take L's. You know, still going to take L's. Still going to be part of the game. But anyway, back over here on NQ. Not looking to do anything too quick. We were chopping off the open. We pulled right back up to VWAP. I'm interested in this long off of overnight low. I'd be waiting for some buyers to step in if we came down and swept this level. I'm going to watch this on a low time frame. Probably trade for around 5 micros, 4 or 5 micros. Again, these are live accounts now with lower max loss limits than that top 1 live account. Smaller account size here with Lucid. So I'm gonna try not to hammer him. 10 a.m. time frame coming in right now. But yeah, shaping up to be a down week. We'll see how we finish up today and tomorrow. Still got plenty of time, man. That's 3 L's so far, though. 3 L's and I think a couple break evens. As far as the live trading goes, right? I do trade plenty off the live sessions as well. Watch this as we come lower here. Interested. Yeah, guys, I think if we, if we crack this overnight low level, we test down in here and find buyers, I'm going to like that for a move back up. I think if we break through and start to close and we start to rip, you know, this could be one of those big down days. We certainly made the case for it, but I'm looking for that first reversion off of overnight low. Kind of what we did yesterday. Overnight low and overnight high. Just beautiful, beautiful reversion spots. After that, but for a scalpier, smaller move, after that, some continuation. You know, if I got stopped on the overnight low move back up and we started to sell off, I consider a short, I should say. Are you risking 1 or 2% this trade? No. No, these are prop accounts. Prop live accounts, but I'm not risking 1 or 2%. Maybe with a live account, that would be good. I'm risking an aggressive percentage of the max loss limit. Personal automatic DLL helps a lot. For sure. For sure. Yeah, we're talking about managing, downside, right? Continuing to trade, trading on tilt. Use a DLL. Definitely use a DLL. You know, liquidate and lock yourself out. You can set it on Tradeovate. You can set it on Project X. You know. Bought a BOGO yesterday from Top 1. Nice. Morning, gang. Much slower today. This action is rough so far, especially if I can see on NQ. Red, green. Stepped away for a bit. Digital Nukes, what's up, man? Yeah, nothing wrong with that. After playing poker for 25 years, I've learned to deal with variance. Lol, I don't mind the losses anymore. Sloth Father on kick. Yeah, dude. Again, you know, listen, guys. I used to be where I think a lot of you are at, right? And I get the comments, right? Because I used to comment the same. And I talk about this with a couple different traders, right? But I talked about it with Zach on Prop for a Match TV. I hopped into one of the best live traders and psychology experts, veterans, Tom Hogard's live sessions back in the day, right? I don't know if he's still streaming on Telegram every day, but he was in Telegram. Then he had this low latency stream. I read the book. I was so enthusiastic about everything that he had said and was going on. And I hopped in his live stream, and I think I made it like 3 days consecutively. I think I even woke up a couple times for London. But I think I made it like 3 days. And he happened to lose those 3 days. And I mean like back-to-back-to-back trades. He probably took like, I don't know, man, 3 or 4 trades per session, and it felt like they were all losses or break even, right? And immediately, in just that short of amount of a time, literally no sample size, I wrote it off. I was like, dude, this guy's terrible. This guy sucks. He has no idea what he's doing. That book must have just been a bunch of BS. I can't believe I even listened to that stuff, right? That was a reflection on me and my complete lack of understanding of the nature of probabilities and thinking in large sample sizes. And how did I have that, proven wrong? I'm paying attention, right? I'm in his Telegram. I start looking every once in a while. I go back and he posts he's up like $300,000 now for the year. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What kind of scam is this shit? I go back through, and of course, he's got wins. He actually had a really long losing streak, right? A nasty losing streak. Part of the game. He lost for multiple days after I stopped watching. But then what happened, of course? Break evens, wins, losses, bigger wins, more losses, bigger wins, break evens, bigger wins, all the way back into, to making money, right? Because that's what real trading looks like. I was expecting it to be roses and rainbows. I was expecting, oh my gosh, professional trader, he's going to win every day, right? You just hop in there and you take his signals and you learn, right? And that's going to be it. You're just going to win. And there's no way this dude can lose 7 trades in a row or whatever, whatever amount it was, right? It's just not the case. So, it does suck to not be able to display something great every day as far as just winning every day. But that's not real. That's not the reality, right? So my job here with you guys is to share my journey and to show you what real trading looks like for me. Day in, day out, green days, weeks, and months, and red days, weeks, and months, right? That's part of it. So I'd encourage you. Think in large sample sizes, right? Think in large sample sizes when you're trading yourself, right? When you're trading yourself. And again, that was a stem from positive and negative variance. I'm watching this get really close to overnight low here. I'm looking for a really aggressive pullback up on this, guys, for a potential buy. Again, we could break this level. We tested VWAP here. We sold back through. We got value area low here. We got overnight low. I'm looking for a potential reversion here. Buyer stepping in really quick here. Really quick here. I'm looking for a push a little bit higher for potential move back up. I love this overnight low level. I'm going to try this, guys. I'm going to try this with 5 micros pretty aggressively. Again, I'll go back to tomorrow. I'll show you why I like a trade like this. It's aggressive, really, really aggressive, right on a sweep of overnight low. Could certainly take the wick out on something like this, but I'm looking for buyers to step back in. Started to get some buyers right off the lows in here. I'm looking for a potential continuation. 30-second chart could show you a little bit more price action off these lows. We started to catch it on ES right here as well. But I'm going to take a couple scalps on NQ here. A couple stabs at this bad boy. It's going to be stab number 1. Again, trading pretty light risk. Trading pretty light risk. Looking for a quick crack, really right back up to this level here off of these lows. I'd actually love a wider stop, but I'm not going to widen out too much. I'm going to show you. Yesterday was a beautiful example of overnight low and overnight high playing out. You could have just bought and sold there. Does it play out every day? No. Is it going to play out today? I don't know. Don't really care, right? As long as I take the same style of trades enough, doing a little bit more of what's working, a little bit less of what's not, come out green. But yeah, positive and negative variance, man. That's the other part of it, right? You're gonna you're going to flip that coin enough times with a 50-50 win rate, and all of a sudden, you're going to hit heads when you win 8 times in a row. And you're going to go, I got it all figured out. I'm a hero. I don't have to manage risk at all anymore, right? I don't have to use a stop loss anymore. I don't have to size my positions according to anything, right? You know, that's not going to be necessary for me. Let me go, let me throw a sell limit in here, guys, just to get ready for a potential take profit. I'd like something like that. Yeah, I'd like something like that. Would not mind something like that. If we pop up here, I might look to take it off just on a quicker reversion. Start to get a little scalpy in here. We got buyers off of overnight low. Let's see if they could pull it a little bit higher, man. Nice close above on the 1 minute. I like this. Some nice pressure on the 30-second, which I know is crazy. Pretty crazy to watch, but you can see a little bit better price action as price is moving. If TradingView starts to lag out on me, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Let's see. Let's see. But yeah, we'll talk more about that, man. Eventually, you know, you'll take a bunch of heads in a row. Eventually, you take a bunch of tails in a row. And, you know, if you trade for long enough, you start to recognize that positive and negative variance that comes in. But yeah, no. So like back then, right? I was watching that, and long story short, Tom Hogarth is a great trader. Different style of trading than me, for sure. Very aggressive, very low win rate, very high risk to reward. At least when I was watching back in the day there. Yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna go with something like this right in here. I want to see this continue, and I'm gonna go stop loss to break even on this. This can be how I play, guys. So just as a quick heads up, I'm stop loss to break even. I got a sell limit at 235. I'm going to try to snag profit on this pretty quickly. 226, running into some sellers up here. Can we grab a quick profit of around that $500 level? Again, trading the Lucid live accounts. I'm going to try not to be a DICK for a TICK here. I'm giving it a second. Oh, it hit. Nice. It hit. Beautiful. Awesome. We got a TP hit on that one. Nice. Little scalp off of overnight low. Again, you know, trading different size in this account. This is a 50K Lucid live account. I have 2 of these bad boys. So we're starting to put some into profit here. Nice little TP hit. Let me mark that one so we can go back to it. Long somewhere in here. Stop loss somewhere in here. Take profit somewhere in here. All right, something like this. I'll have to come back to it and pull up my actual entry, exit, and take profit. There it is, guys. You take some wins, you take some losses, you just keep pushing forward. You're trying not to do anything stupid, you know. So I'll talk about this trade in a second. I just want to see if we absolutely reverse here, or if we come right back down through these lows. What I'm actually watching for here, guys, is we got some gnarly downtrend structure, right? Some chop, some downtrend structure. We retested VWAP. We got a crack of overnight low, pull back up. I'm actually curious now to see and to trade in with a continuation of this trend to the downside. If we come right back down through these lows really aggressively, we start to flip this thing and crack this, I'm going to be looking to sell into that for a continuation, right? You know, if we keep pushing to the upside, I'm out of my long, right? The thesis is not a huge reaction for the day. But we'll talk about this one in a second. But yeah, guys, I just want to continue this. Barely 5-minute trade, fast TP too. Yeah, we got some W's in the chat. Listen. Let's talk about watching Tom Hogarth trade. You know, this is not a show up every day and win game. Trading is very non-linear. Very non-linear. You will go through periods. I don't care really what strategy you have outside of extremely high win rate, low risk to reward, momentum scalping, where you're very consistent and then you have huge blow up days. Most strategies if you're in that modest win rate, 30 to 70%, let's say, everybody in that middle chunk outside of the extremes, you're going to go through beautiful winning streaks. You're going to go through periods where you feel like you can't lose. It's just you pull up, and every time you hit the buy or sell button, the market rips to your take profit. And then you're going to go through periods of the exact opposite of that. Every time you put a trade on, no matter what you do, you feel like you can't win. Price just loves your stop loss. It rips to it. As soon as you press the button, like you will get to a point in your trading, if you're not there, where you're convinced there's nothing you can do to win. If you have not had that low yet, I promise you it will come for you. I'm sorry to tell you right now. I've been there multiple times. And I made jokes about this. I made videos about this. It's a funny thing. You get to a low point sometimes when you've lost for so long, and maybe it's at your own hand. Maybe it's when you're inconsistent. Usually the losing streaks aren't going to be that bad after you start to get some consistency. But you get to a point where you go, I don't think I could even fade myself. Even if I tried to do the opposite of what I was about to do, I'd still fucking lose money. Excuse my language. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry. Nobody curse in the chat. You'd still lose money, right? You're like, even if you're the worst trader of all, it's like, how could you possibly lose this much? This is like you to yourself, right? I had this multiple times, bro. I'll never forget the days when I really struggled like that. I like borderline in tears after how much time and energy I had put in, and you just show up day after day after day after day and lose and lose and lose. But I promise you guys, it's at your own hand usually at that point. It's at your own hand. But even as you progress, the market will create this positive and negative variance through this randomness on the short term, because it is so incredibly random on the short term, and it is much more consistent on the long term. But it will create this randomness where you go through these nasty winning streaks, which are good, and these nasty losing streaks, which are bad. And this back and forth break even that feels like it'll never effing end either, right? Where you're win, loss, win, loss, win. You're like, what am I doing here, dude? If you can conceptualize this stuff first, right? By maybe listening to idiots like me talk about it, or reading every trading psychology book that describes it in detail over and over and over again and talks about the math, talks about the nature of probabilities, the nature of statistics, draws it out in all of these different, examples, right? You read the books, listen to it. Trading the Zone by Mark Douglas, The Disciplined Trader, Best Loser Wins, The Mental Game of Trading by Jared Tendler, The Market Wizards, which all talk about psychology, right? You listen to this, you think about it, you know it, right? You understand. Then you build some effing discipline off the charts. You say, I know this is coming for me, but if I'm an undisciplined, lazy POS, degenerate in every other area of my life, why would I be disciplined on the chart? And then, you need those two, you still need to put your hand on the fire, right? You still need to feel it for yourself. You still need to experience it for yourself, right? Just like learning to ride a bike. We talked about this example, and I'm gonna finish this rant in a second, but this is a good example. You could read about learning how to ride a bike. You could know everything about the physics behind riding a bicycle, inertia, braking, gears, chains, the functions, the alloys, the metal, how much to turn, the angle to lean, all of the theory behind it. But until you step your ass on a bicycle and you try to pedal, will you know what gravity feels like? Will you really know what it feels like when you start to turn a bike and you have to lean to the side? When you grab the brake, really how hard you need to grab that brake before it skids, before the wheel tucks on you, right? The same is true in trading. It's as much of an art and an experience, right? And a performance sport as it is a math equation, because it is both. It's equal parts in my humble biased opinion. So remember these things. You build that experience, right? And then try as you progress to sit with that, to meditate on that, right? That's what will keep you from all of the execution errors that come along with not recognizing that, not having discipline, right? I take that first trade on YM, I take a loss, right? And then what do a lot of people do? Double up, immediately jump back in the same direction, full port the account, take 47,000 trades to make it back. I'm mad. Why did I lose? The market shouldn't have done that. Where was the mean reversion, right? Well, this is not fair. I just needed a little bit more money to make money, whatever it is, right? Whatever you want to tell yourself. That doesn't make sense. It does not make logical sense for you to do that. You know that, right? Most of you know that. Some of you don't yet. Most of you know that. How do you actually exercise it? All the things that we just talked about. Knowing it, reflecting on it, right? Building it into your approach, building those parameters, building discipline off the chart, building experience, right? So I hope that can kind of come full circle, right, guys? And I will say this. I'm not the best trader. I don't have it all figured out, right? I'm not the best guy. I used to say I'm not in live accounts and leaderboards, but I am technically now on prop firm live accounts and leaderboards. But I don't perceive myself or to try to display myself as some guru that knows everything about the markets and has it all figured out, right? I've just done this stuff for a while. I've had trial by fire, and I'm trying to display the stuff that at least works for me. Is this your ideology? Is this going to work for you? I don't know. I can't possibly know. I can only explain this stuff, for what I do to try to generate the results that I generate, right? Good and bad. And you can watch this stuff play out in real time. I hope this helps you guys. We're not done trading yet for the day. We didn't come back down through that low. We're starting to chop back at VWAP here, or near VWAP. I'm going to read the chat. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You guys seem to like that. We got a lot of likes. We got viewers hopping on, man. We'll do the mindset rants. I think this is good. I think you guys like it. Guys, let's talk. Let's talk about it. Throw the comments in chat. Let me know what you're thinking, man. Good morning. NQ looking like it wants to sweep the lows. Yeah, we swept the lows and came right back in. I'm going to talk about this trade. I'm going to show you the same trade from yesterday on both overnight high and overnight low. It's very, very simple. I've worked with another trader specifically on his approach to overnight highs and overnight lows, on watching NQ on really low time frames, which I found pretty interesting, right? Also giving credit where it's due, right? Putting yourself around other traders, putting yourself around traders that are, doing exceptionally well, that are willing to share what's working, what's not working for them, right? Do we all hit that like? Yeah, smash the like button, man. Shorter for the break of the lows. I'm done for the day. 600, not losing this account. Yeah. How many funded accounts are you managing? I don't know, bro. I have funded accounts and live accounts at Top Step, Top One Futures, Lucid, Take Profit Trader, Alpha, and Vanquish, which is an options prop firm. Am I missing anybody on there? Everybody that's scrolling across here. Top One Futures, Lucid, Top Step, Take Profit Trader. Just started with Alpha. I don't have a bunch of results with Alpha, and I'm not super stoked on their Alpha Trader program, thing that they got rolling, that platform. Tradeify really kicked back off with Tradeify. Got paid out with them recently. I haven't had a lot of success, in their with them just yet, but it's kind of how it goes, right? You have the prop firms that you just seem to can't stop winning at, and you have the prop firms where you just seem to can't stop losing at. Positive, negative variance. And then Vanquish is a options prop firm. Took a $5,000 payout from them on Monday from an advanced options account, which was pretty cool to trade for the first time. And then I also trade live accounts. I have multiple brokerage accounts for futures specifically, for options, and then for just stocks, commons. Both for like swing trading style, and then for longer term investment, right? Your 401k stuff, which is definitely different. WWWs, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. 5 months of this. It's my fault. That's right. Zach, you're talking to me, bro. F no. I went through that low last week. Yeah, that was me yesterday. Losing streak is so frustrating. PS, great long. I took it in practice. Made just as much. Nice. I need to slow way down on the open. Yeah. I love it, but it's so angry even if you're right. Yeah, Mike. The open's tough, man. Trading the open is tough. It's very volatile, guys. It's so volatile. Consider a short on NQ. Language. My 6-year-old is watching the stream with me. Sorry. Yeah, I try not to do that. I curse sometimes in other content, but definitely not where I'm not supposed to, and I'm not supposed to here. So I try not to. Sorry, ADL King's son or daughter. Appreciate you being here, brother. You're awesome. I've been seeing the content, man. If you guys are looking to follow somebody who's putting out great content, I meant to say this, but I'm always so caught up in whatever the heck we're working on. ADEL King 88 _ on IG. ADEEL King. Shout out to my man. He's been here for such a long period of time, and he's cranking out awesome content, man. So send it. Consider a short on NQ. Yeah, this is kind of interesting from up here. I'll come back to the chat in a second, guys, but looking at this on higher time frames. Here's the 15-minute chart. Here's our overnight low, beautiful sweep, and then we came back in. prior day low up here, consolidation from the overnight session. If we zoom way out, you know, we got a little bit of a double bottom getting put in here. Again, I took the long back up. I'm happy with that. Obviously, looks like we could have held it all the way back, all the way up towards VWAP. It's not really the play on a scalping move like that. I don't know about this now. You know, I don't know about this now. Like I said, if we turned aggressively back down, like all the way towards the lows, I'd be looking for a more continuation trade lower. I would be, like, if we came down and broke this again, right? You know, we pushed lower overnight, we broke overnight low, we retested VWAP. Like, if buyers can't take it back up, and if we just chop here, we chop here. If buyers take it higher, right, that's the move. But if we come back down and sellers are going to rip this thing lower again, I think we got room. You know, I think we got at least a little bit of room to dip our toe outside of here and potentially come lower. That's obviously not what we're doing right now. We're pushing back up. I don't really have a long in here. So yeah, if your thesis is like we're going to break lower, you know, when you want to take a second test of VWAP short for like a bigger, you know, wider stop loss trade, I think that would be fine. I don't know about a scalpy movement in here, right? We're just getting too choppy. You know, look at this 1 minute session now on MNQ. Here's 9:30, right? Here's the low. Here's the 9:30 open. I like to do this. I like to block this out. Picture there was no other structure that we're looking at. This is now not looking great, right? If I just gave you this piece of information, which I can like that, you know, does that give you a lot of direction? If you look at that in isolation, I would say not yet. You know, maybe we're getting ready for a long. Maybe we're going to sell right back off of VWAP, but this is starting to look more directionless, right? My higher time frame thesis, right? Big high time frame uptrend. We've just continued to rip to the upside. For today, you know, for right in here, we obviously have some consolidation, right? We got VWAP here. I think we could chop, right? That's kind of thesis number one. We got NFP Friday tomorrow. I don't have super high expectations for a huge movement. Another reason I didn't mind being short YM. I figured we would just kind of pop up there and chop, which I'll go back and look at that and see what we did. We could certainly get taken higher, right? We can come all the way back up to prior day high, right? Overnight high, come back up, erase some of this move. Bulls are going to take it. Bulls are going to take it back up. We got a nice double bottom here. You know, that's thesis number two. I think that's probably more likely at this point than a big sell-off. But thesis number three, I guess we can go in that order. Thesis number three, you know, we hold VWAP. Maybe we take out these highs, right? We hold VWAP. We don't really trade too far outside of this big area of high volume. And we start to turn aggressively back down and break lower, you know, that could be really interesting for a continuation short, right? Whether or not we dump, you know, if we come back down, I think we could really crack to the outside. So, but in here, I don't really like this. I don't really love this in here. Again, higher frequency on NQ, so looking for the follow-up. At this point, you know, gun to my head, I'm long, honestly, guys. Like, if I had to take a trade, it's a long. We really just came right back off the lows. If I had to trade this, it would be long. Maybe, just trying to look for the second setup here. Maybe we test VWAP like we're doing right here. Test VWAP like we're doing right here. Pull back down, right? Pop stops, and then catch some buyers again. I think that could be a case for a potential long play, right? Potential long play on the way back up. Why, right? Because I think we're going to make a decision if we do something like this. We're either going to come down, if we find buyers on the way back up, we're either going to continue, you know, run highs and maybe start to go, or that's going to be the sell-off, right? Back down around the lows, in which case I would look short. So the closest thing from in here I could see is a little pullback long for a continuation back above VWAP. If we start to absolutely dump here, I'm still going to look short. But this kind of feels like we just want to go. Like I said, GUN to my HEAD, I would long. But I don't like it. It's choppy overall. Not a really great way to structure risk. You know, what do you do with a stop loss? That? Maybe. You know, if I had to take a trade, that's what I'd be looking at, but I don't like that. Looking for maybe Maybe one of these, right? Pull back down, hit this area again, run stops down here one more time, right? Dip back into this imbalance. Pop up through VWAP, but kind of looks like we want to go. Yeah, we might get something here. Might get something here. Let's see. I do want to talk about this trade. I want to recap it. Took a W in here. I want to recap that, and I want to recap YM. Zach, dropping gems today. Appreciate you. Helps me a lot to process the red trades before they happen, before I even open the trade. Yeah, absolutely. Great mindset. Great mindset. Great mindset. I usually say a trader's rand is full of gems. Yeah. Passing evals always blow up right before payout. I'd rather blow up being wrong than mentally RTARD and 100% killing my trading. Digital nukes, yeah, I feel that, man. That's the psychology, right? Well, what is the difference? And like 30MD30 said, it's never the strategy, it's the psychology, right? You know, it's not the indicators, guys. It's not the tools. It's not the entry model. Everybody talks about that is a, you know, has a financial benefit to gain because it's easy to sell that, right? It's very easy for me to say, look at how clear-cut this is on a silver platter. If you do this, you will make money. That's not true, right? I wish it was. I wish it was for me, and I wish it was for you guys. It's not. If it was, everybody would be making money, right? They're not. Most people are not. You know, like, draw the conclusions here for yourself. So I'm glad that you guys are at that stage because it takes a while, I think, for everybody. You learn technicals, you learn fundamentals, and you think it's this math equation to be solved. And you stay there for such a long time. And then you eventually get to the really frustrating part where you realize that it's me. It's not the strategy. It's not the indicator. It's not the fundamental. It's not the market. It's me, right? And then where you go from there is the differentiator, right? If you can push past that point, is the differentiator. Hey Zach, how are you doing today? Good. 1L, 1 win. 1L, 1 win. Part of the game. Man, appreciate you for sure, for sure. Looking forward to individual name futures. We may be getting cleaner moves. NQ is not keeping ES. Yes, 100%. Yeah, yeah. We got we got stock futures coming in the summer. I think that's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. All right, so let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about this, right? I marked off overnight high and overnight low, right? This was a key low that we put in down below this level. Asia, London high, Asia, London low, prior day high, prior day low. I find those to often be key levels. There's a little bit of context into where it forms and the way that it forms, whether or not I'd look to long right off of overnight low, right? But in a situation like this, where we're trending lower, we chop around, we dip our toe outside, we sweep that. Did I long like I do on YM immediately? No, right? I was watching the 1 minute, even the 30-second chart. We start to find some buyers off of that low. I get in on the right side of the V, pun intended. That's not my quote, but it's a, you know, it's a quote because it's like the right side, but also the physically the right side. You know, buying into buying pressure back off. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just like one candle closure, right? Just a little bit, you know, on the way back up with discretion, right? Stop loss pretty tight, not immediately below the low, but pretty tight. Looking for a quick bounce off that level. Not a huge reaction, not a huge reversion. As you can see, that continued for a really big push all the way back up to VWAP. You know, that's the movement. If we take a look at, this from yesterday, this was an insane version of this, right? I'm gonna mark it with a different color, but you know, I'm cherry picking yesterday as an example. Let's do like pink so you can see it. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Session changeover. Am I tripping? Oh, I'm completely tripping out. Sorry, guys. I forgot where we were. The 1 minute chart here. Forgot where we were. Tuesday into Wednesday, which was yesterday, right? Here was our overnight session high, right? Area that price trades from session changeover to 9:30 a.m., right? Here's 8 a.m., right? Here's our overnight low, right? We didn't trade it down here. Yeah, here's our overnight low, right? Now, again, this is one day. Does it always happen like this? Absolutely not, just like me today on YM. Look at the turn back off of overnight high, right? Just paying attention to this line here. Look at the turn back off of overnight high that gave you plenty of time to sell into selling pressure. And then look at the turn back up from a break of overnight low, right? From sweeping this level down here. Absolutely beautiful, right? Absolutely beautiful. Now, again, do we always get such movement off of it? Is it always so clean? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, man. Frustrating, a little bit of a frustrating day for me yesterday on NQ. I went 1L, 1 break even. I got short somewhere in here, and then I got short for a break even somewhere in here. You can see how that one played out really nicely into the afternoon. But yeah, overnight high, overnight low, prior day high, prior day low, volume profile levels, VWAP. You know, again, is it enough? Nope. No, it is not. Let's see what happened on YM here. A little bit delayed on this data since we're in the live account. Trading 461, coming all the way back down in. Wow. Yeah, we're all the way back down here, guys. This is a delayed data feed. Wow. Yeah, but my stop was 517, so I wasn't going to survive this. No mean reversion, though. You know, no mean reversion, right? So here's an example of a day I got to take the L, right? You know, a day I have to take the L. Let's look on the 1 minute chart because you can see this stuff just play out a lot better, I think, at the 9:30 time frame, right? You know, take a look. I didn't get this one yesterday, but take a look what we did, right? We're selling off, we're selling off, we're selling off. We crack lower, right? And then what do? We trade 222 points off the lows all the way back to VWAP. Mean reversion. Really nice move back up into the mean, not just a continuation away. This was insane. I wasn't trading this with you guys on Tuesday. I don't know what the hell I would have done in here. Maybe? Was this off of a level? Yeah, it's not that bad. Nice mean reversion in there. Crazy pop to the upside first. Let's take a look here. 930, right? 930, what do? We're selling off, we're selling off, we're selling off. Pop back up, right? We don't move away from... you know, away from that average price, away from current price action, right? Similar movement here. This looks like 930, right? We sell off, hit a key level, pop back up to the upside. We don't just dump through, right? Just giving you guys some examples of the movement that I'm looking for on YM. Same thing here. We dump, right? I buy into that. We trade back up to the upside. I think this was one that I actually took. Beautiful movement back up to the upside. Where's our 930 here? Yep. This is not great, right? Give you a little bit of a pullback in here. A little bit of a pullback, but not really enough, right? Not really enough. We swept overnight highs. Or no, we didn't sweep overnight highs. Traded up to an area of high volume off the open, back down to VWAP, and then we took off. Just to kind of show you the movement. Here's an example where, you know, I'm getting cooked, right? Here's an example where I'm getting cooked. We are selling off aggressively, and I think I actually took a loss here. We're selling off aggressively, right? Like, I'm looking to buy into lows here as we push back up, or as we push off. We don't get that big mean reversion, right? We don't come all the way back up to this area of high volume. We just pop a little bit, and then we dump. You know, we just sell off the rest of the day. You know, today's one of the worst days where we just go in one direction, right off the open. Let's see. Here's a choppy day. Super choppy day, just to review some price action on YM. Super duper choppy day. But yeah, here's the move today. Above VWAP, pushing higher, pushing higher, pushing higher. We take off at 930. I get in where I should get in, right? Right in here. No mean reversion. Part of the game. Part of the game. Oh, man. Treasure chest of gems dropped. Appreciate it, mate. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I legit rage traded to make that last $75 yesterday. I paid for it starting over today. Not bitching, just realizing after the fact it is not important to stress that hard over passing. Stressing over it is worse than waiting a day. Yeah. Listen, guys, we deal with something that's not normal with prop firms. We deal with something very just abnormal with prop firms. And it creates this dynamic that's even harder to deal with. And it's in their favor, right? With a live account, with a personal live account, you know, it doesn't matter how many times you trade, right? You're not trying to make $75 on a random, you know, Wednesday, right, Mike? And others, you know, you don't have to trade for $550 days, right? You know, those are all downsides, a consistency rule, you know, all the other things you have to deal with. Those are all downsides to prop firms, and they're real, and they present more psychological challenges as well. Upsides, obviously, we have a ton of leverage, but you have to try to figure out how you want to work with that. You know, are you going to full port your account every day to get a $150 winning day, right? Are you going to scalp every single day for a $150 winning day, right? If you're going to do that, either to win or to lose, you're eventually going to lose the whole account. You know, you'll lose plenty of accounts doing that. Probably, you know, 90% of the time you put up a $150 day, but 1 out of 10, price is just not going to go at all in your favor. It's just going to right back down to blow the account, right? So, you know, decide. If you're not going to do that, if you're not okay with that, slow down. You say, hey, you know what? I'm waiting for my trades. Nice and slowly but surely, right? I'm not going to play that game. I don't want to risk the accounts that way. I don't need to be that aggressive, and I'm going to slow down. But decide what side of the page you're going to be on with the prop firm, game. A lot of traders are aggressive, myself included, in a lot of areas. And we have the leverage and the skill set and the mindset and the need to create a positive return on investment relative to our total trading capital with prop firms to be aggressive, okay? It's not for everybody, and for most traders, I don't think it makes any sense to do that type of stuff, right? So take it slow. Take it slow. You get within $200 worth of a payout, that's where most traders blow it, right? And the prop firms know that. Just trade the same. Trade it slow. Just do your thing. So, starting over is worse than waiting a day, yeah? Yeah, man. Sorry to hear it, Mike. It's part of the game. But remember that for next time, for sure. All right. We are chopping back a VWAP here. We got a handful of people. Sloth, you said something here, man. I'm gonna come back to that. We got 50 people on the live stream, 45, 46 people on the live stream on YouTube. And then we got a handful on Kick, a handful on X. Here's what we're gonna do, boys and girls. Here's what we're going to do, boys and girls. Giveaway time coming up. If you want into the giveaway, here's what we're going to do. It's pretty early. It's 10:41, so I'm still looking for trades. I'm not done yet. Here's what we're going to do. Giveaway. We're going to run giveaway at... Let's do 60 likes. All right. Link to the giveaway is in chat. It is in chat on YouTube, on Kick, and if you're on X, let me throw it in there for you boys. Let me help you out, X. I got you, X, today. I'm gonna actually go on my phone and do this. Let's get the guys from X in the Discord today. What's up, Twitter? How we doing today, man? It's gonna be in the live chat right there, and it's gonna be in the comments just in case you guys can't find it. It's also the main thing linked on my my profile. If you can't find that. Go ahead, hop in there. 60 likes. We're going to give out a Lucid account today. We're trading Lucid, 50K live accounts. Shout out. We're going to give out a Lucid. I think we're going to give a nice account out from Lucid today. Hang on. Let's see what we got from Lucid. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. We got $500 in a live account. $500 in a live account. No consistency rules. I like that. We have a giveaway coming up for... Let's start out, because sometimes we run more than one. Yesterday we ran two. After everybody hopped off, we pulled the fake out. Let's start out with a 50K Lucid Pro account. Start out with a 50K Lucid Pro account. These accounts are right now $129 from Lucid. Let's see who's winning one of these boys right here. The nice Pro accounts. These are pretty solid. They are consistency rule in funded, no minimum trading days. I like the Flex, which is actually a cheaper account. But these are pretty solid. Bigger payout caps on these. Daily loss limit makes it a little bit tighter. Some people don't mind a 40% consistency rule, and they like that trade-off. You could also pass them in one day. No activation fee, which is really sweet. One-time payment. You know, no monthly fee. If you want to check them out, code RDF gets you the best deal. At all prop firms. Top 1 Futures, Lucid, Take Profit, Alpha, Tradeify. Shout out all of them, man. Appreciate these guys that support. We're going to give out a 50K Pro at 60 likes. Smash the like button, and we'll get somebody funded. Remember, guys, you got to hop in the free Discord for it. And yeah, they're running the 50% off. They're one of the last ones running 50% off. Alpha was 50%. Tradeify was 50%. Take Profit was 50%. They're all done right now. Everybody's back to like 30, 35. Lucid is still 50% off. Most of the base prices are pretty close, right? They're not all exactly the same. But if you haven't picked up 2 Lucid accounts at this price, I wouldn't sleep on it. They're usually like 35, 40%. But it's limited to 2 per trader. Code RDF gets you the deal. Juicy Lucid. Yeah, we're giving out Lucid accounts today, boys. Giving out Lucid accounts. Yeah, Lucid's awesome, man. Just to throw this at you guys, right? Let's take you through, since we're watching NQ chop up here. Maybe we start to dip. I'm gonna come off of this page, so just for a second, I'm gonna put an alert here and here, and we'll get a little ding if we start to break the highs, if we start to break the lows. I'm gonna take you through this, man. I started trading with Lucid in February for the first time. I first traded the Lucid Pro accounts, and I took a payout from a Pro account. I think I took a $1,500 payout, whatever the max amount, or was it $2,500? I'd have to double check. We could pull up some payouts. But then I hopped over to the Lucid Flex account, right? Took a bunch of payouts from these bad boys, traded them aggressively, lost plenty of evals, lost plenty of funded accounts. But the 50K Flex accounts are insane, dude. These are such a solid program. Very, very similar to Top Step and very similar to Tradeify, right? And I'm trading with all of these if you want to know. I really, really, really like this style of account for evals into funded. I'm going to show you with Tradeify just so you can see. Partner with these guys as well. Code RDF gets you the best deal. Select, and you can go the daily or the flex style, right? These are really solid, man. Really solid. What I like about them is no daily loss limit in the eval or the funded, meaning you can be very aggressive. You cannot pass them in one day. You can't full port them. You have to take 2 to 3 days to pass them, right? 50% means 2 days here with Lucid. 40% means 3 days here with Tradeify, right? Once you're into the funded account, you have no daily loss limit, no consistency rule. End of day trailing max loss limit, right? $2,000 max loss limit. 5 minimum $150 days, and you can take a payout, right? Small payout caps, pretty tight, right? On the 50Ks for sure. The 150Ks are better, right? From both of these guys. But these are very, very flexible accounts. Shout out to the name. I think these are going to be awesome for more aggressive traders that are comfortable with passing evals quickly. You don't have to worry about activation fee. You don't have to worry about rebilling, anything like that. You can copy trade up to 5 of them if you want. They're sweet, man. So yeah, I traded the pro accounts. I was trying to figure out what I did. I was trying to log in and figure out what I did. I think I had some payouts pulled up. I traded the pro accounts and took one payout. Took me a minute to get there. Hopped over to the flex accounts, and I took a handful of payouts from these guys, man. Handful. Quite a few. Quite a few. I think I got kicked live because I ended up taking 5 or 6 from the same account, and that definitely raised the red flag and got me kicked live. The timing of it wasn't great. I was funded with 5 for almost the entire time. Sometimes I would lose 1 or 2 and I would drop off, and then I would obviously replace with more evals. They got me when I had 2 active. It happened to be, you know, right when I was taking a payout on some, and I had only 2 that were active that had profit in it, that I forget what the rule was, had made it to 1 payout or were in profit and active. I forget what the rule was. But anyway, I ended up with 2 accounts, 2 live accounts with them, 2 50K live accounts with them. So not great, because I also wasn't trading the 150Ks, which are much more capacity if you're going to get kicked live. I love the price point on these, on the 50Ks. I love being stupid aggressive with the 50Ks. The profit target to max loss limit is better. You could take a $2,000 payout from here. You can only take a $3,000 payout from here. It's not triple. But for someone, this was a mistake on my part. One thing I definitely should have been doing was trading the 150Ks as I was getting closer to getting moved live. It just would have given me bigger live accounts, and I should have made sure that I had 5. But, you know, it's just part of the learning experience as you trade with more firms. This was my first run with them for a couple months. Yeah, they were solid. So, still super solid. If you want to check it out, I was going to try to see if I had a couple of payout certs from them. See what we had going on. I haven't really, no, I don't have them all pulled up. Anyway, Lucid, man. Super solid. What did I do? I took them all to my phone? I don't know. What was the payout cap on the pro? Now I actually want to see. Was it a payout cap, or could you take anything based on? Oh no, it was a Lucid Black account. That's what it was. Lucid Black account that I was trading first, and those are gone. Okay, I was trying to figure this out. I was like, I thought you had to hit a certain profit target and then you got paid a certain amount. My bad, guys. I was trying to figure out what I actually did here. Yeah, and it was a $1,500 payout. Now I can see it. It was a $1,500 payout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think I took a dozen payouts from these guys. No complaints, man. Lucid. Shout out Lucid. Let's see. It's a great stream. Big fan of the realism. First time I saw you on Top Step. Ooh, Lucid. Yeah, man. Not participating in the giveaway today. Good luck, fellas. 55 likes. Go ahead, smash the like button, man. We'll see what we can do. VWAP chop. That's what we got going on here today. That's what we got going on here today. Yeah, what I liked, and I'm just going to continue yapping as we're talking about the prop firm accounts, right? I really like 2 different styles of accounts. Yeah, I think this was one of the first ones that I took with him. What I like about, and none of these were huge payouts. What I like about this style of account is you can kind of trade the way that I trade, which is just whatever's on the chart, you know, waiting patiently for that big aggressive setup, maybe taking a couple trades. I could put a big day up in here with a lot of risk and then trade small for the $150 days and get towards a payout, right? I was trying desperately to pull up a couple because I'm happy to show some payouts, right? I used to not like to do that. I used to really just not like to show like dollar amount payouts just because I don't think it's like very helpful. But I think it's important for, for displaying what you could do with these accounts. What I really like from the instant funded accounts, I'm gonna show you real quick. What I really like from the instant funded accounts, right? These bad boys right here, which I'm gonna be trading. Right into a funded account. No eval, no challenge, right? No activation fee. You're trading towards profit you stand to withdraw from day one. The 50K account, for example, $2,000 max loss limit, $1,250 daily loss limit, end of day trailing drawdown, 20% consistency rule, which is pretty tight. It means you can't make, and no single day of profit can be larger than 20% when you go to request a payout, right? But if you put up $3,000 in this account, you're taking out $2,500. Let's go to the frequently asked questions to confirm that. Because every time I say it, I'm like, nah, that's not right, is it? 6% of your initial balance, $3,000 on the 25 on the 50K account, and you're taking out $2,500. That's savage. That's savage, man. Like I really think there's a huge benefit there. On the 150K account, especially when you look at the price point, 150K account, $9,000 in profit, you're taking out $3,500. You can copy trade up to 5 of them. These are super solid. When you look at the price point on here, right? No challenge. So just depends on what you like. Just depends on what you like. I've done well with the instant funded. Done best with the instant funded from top one. I've done best with the flex style accounts across all of the other firms as far as evals go. That's what we got rolling. If you guys got questions on props, concerns, comments, you let me know. You let me know. Do you always trade mean reversion from VWAP at market open? Yeah, I like to. I trade mean reversion towards VWAP at market open on YM. Again, context of the day comes into play. What the heck we're looking at, is important. But yeah, I like to. SEC and FINRA have approved changes to the pattern day trading rule starting Sunday, June 7th. Nice. Yeah, no pattern day trading rules is awesome. Yeah, man. Anyway, guys, like we said, smash the like button. We're giving out some Lucid accounts today. I was trying to pull up some payout certs. Just for fun for you guys. But yeah, man. Yeah. I don't really like this price action market structure, guys. I'm sitting here patient. Maybe we catch the break to the upside as we start to push higher. Like I said, GUN to my HED. If we had to take one, it was long out of this area, but I don't like that. Now we just got VWAP chop. So while I wait for you guys to smash the like button and for us to run a giveaway, I will be right back. Chat, you guys are almost there. 5 likes. 5 likes and we're running the giveaway, guys. You're almost there. Almost there. Hey, Zach, I got some 50% off alpha accounts. Do you know if they'll rebill at 50% with no activation? I think so, Fast Money Formula. I think so, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. I also have some alpha accounts. I was talking about it yesterday. I've got some alpha trader accounts. I passed some. I failed some. I am not happy with that platform. I did say yesterday that they made it right. They reset all of my accounts from the day before based on all of the issues. I had more issues, and I screen recorded it and I sent it to them in email. And I'm not super stoked about their first response. I always like to talk honestly, but I have faith that they're gonna make it right. Alpha Trader is a new platform from Alpha Futures that is an integrated trading view chart. I decided to test it out. I think it could be great, but they've got a lot of issues on that right now. And I hope that they continue to make those issues right until the problems are corrected on the platform. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I think there's some cool stuff cooking in the background. I actually had a conversation with, you guys want some inside sauce? You guys want some inside scoop on some stuff? Out at the ASFX Tampa boot camp. I'm trying to get myself in trouble. Out at the ASFX Tampa boot camp, there was a platform that came out, a platform that is partnering with a major platform here in the US. They're from South America. The platform is sick. It is a fast tick, super order flow, tick everything, tick charts, order flow style, everything for prop firms and live accounts. And all of the fun features that we like drag out, take profit, and stop loss, right? Very, very fast execution, fast data, fast candles printing. It's not a TradingView integrated chart the way that Project X is a TradingView integrated chart, but it is extremely similar to a TradingView chart. It's like a very close second to a TradingView chart with all of the same tools. Volume profile, VWAP, right? Volume down on the bottom, very customizable. I'm excited for them to come to market. That's the next platform that I'm really looking forward to test. And I also like the ability to trade live accounts with them, right? There's a disconnect with TradeC even, for example. I don't know if you can connect Rhythmic in a live account. I guess maybe you can. But there's a disconnect with some of these, right? Like I tried Alpha Trader, but even if I loved Alpha Trader, I can't trade everybody else on Alpha Trader, right? Unless I'm copy trading like a crazy person. So it'd be nice to find one that we know and love, and we don't do what we do here where we're integrating TradingView and Tradeovate for a slow chart and slow execution, but a great charting platform, right? So, some things to think about, but I'm really excited about that. That's not the stuff that I'm working on the back end. That's not what I'm talking about, coming for next week. That's my own stuff I'm super excited about, more of a how and what I do type of a deal. But I'm super excited about that. It's sick. It's sick. If you guys were out in Tampa, you probably know what I'm talking about. They're super receptive in a way that all of these other ones are not, to making changes, to adding things, right? So I actually talked to them yesterday. I'm supposed to be testing some stuff with them, give them some feedback. They're working with a lot of different traders in the US to get a lot of feedback first. And I think I'd be surprised if they didn't partner with all of the prop firms. I'd say in 6 months or so. I'd be really surprised if we didn't see them with a lot of the prop firms. But yeah, what's really, really, really cool about it is TradingView style chart, fast candles printing, all that type of stuff, and then order flow. Like heat map order flow built in the charting platform. Really cool. Really, really cool. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. We'll see. I was going to try TradeC. I'm not going to try TradeC. I'm going to test linking Project X through Top Step to other accounts just through TradeSyncer and see what that does, just out of curiosity. But I'm probably just going to sit patient for that one. So coming soon. Coming soon. You know, they're out, they're available. You know, they're out and available, but I think it's gonna be really cool when they partner with, you know, US prop firms that everybody uses. All right, guys, we got 62 likes on the stream. You guys ran it up. Hang on one second. Form is going to drop in. Form is going to drop in the main Discord in about a minute. Hang tight. Of course, the page disappeared as soon as I went to do it. Hang on. I got to do this again. Always fun. All right, chat. In the giveaways channel in Discord. All right. Form is live. Open until, what is 10 minutes from now? 11:15 a.m. All right. Bang. Form is live. Go ahead, get that one filled out. If you want to, you don't have to do anything. Free means free. As far as these giveaways roll. Give you guys 10 minutes to get this one filled out. Oh, Sloth, I missed something from you. You said something earlier in Kick. I think once I locked in my risk management to a certain loss per trade and day, my discipline got a lot better. Now it can be a little bit more discretionary, as I've seen a lot of risk management has kept me in the game when I would have blown up before. Yeah. We're talking about mindset and risk management earlier. Awesome. All right, guys. Giveaway form is live in Discord. Bang. I didn't update. What's up, TradingView? Let's see who's going to take the W today, man. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Thanks for being here. Y'all are awesome. Drifting to the upside here. I don't really have too much of a follow-up on something like this. I'm not super stoked on it. Took a nice W after a loss on YM there. YM off to the races, pushing to the upside. Very nice. But, guys, I got something while we're here hanging out. I got something big cooking. Got something really big cooking, man. I'm excited to change a lot of what I've been doing, right? I've been live streaming, sharing my journey for about 2 years. About 2 years now, over 2 years. Pretty consistently here on YouTube, on Kick, on Twitter. I post an enormous amount on IG. I got a free Discord with over 3,000 members. I am excited for this next chapter. I'm really excited for this next chapter. I think it's going to be extremely mutually beneficial for everybody. I'm super stoked. So I'll keep you guys updated. I'm hoping to have everything that I need in place coming into next week. If you guys are here with me now, you're here in Discord, I'm going to take care of you. You can come with me on this journey if you see fit. I'm excited. I'm really excited, guys. So stay tuned. I'll keep you updated, of course, in Discord. I'll keep you updated in email. But I'm hyped. I'm hyped, man. It's gotten to be a lot to try to do what I do at the level that we've grown to, which is insane. I'm super grateful for it. This is all like awesome problems to have. It's insane the growth that I've had across socials over the last couple years, man. I thank God for it. I'm so grateful for it, and I'm gonna make some changes that I think are gonna be for the best. So I'm excited. Man, pushing to the upside here. Pushing to the upside here. How about that long off overnight lows, boys? How about that long? This was one for never close your trade. Definitely not at all the play on a scalpy style move like that. You know, like I said, gun to my head long, not a short in here, just for a drift higher, but really not a great trade. Looks like we did make the case where we chopped in here a little bit, and like we mapped out a little bit earlier, right? Coming up to giveaway form open in Discord. Now coming up to, you know, this overnight session chop before we sold off into London. That's the move. Pulling back some of this daily candle here. Really nasty wick down. Curious to see what we get into the afternoon. This could be a really interesting trade into the afternoon. Looks like the slow drift higher ahead of NFP Friday tomorrow. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Happy for you, rocket ships. Excited for you, bro. Seeing the growth is super inspiring. Yeah, I appreciate you. Still gonna be trading live? Yeah, still gonna be trading live. Still gonna be trading live. I'm gonna be doing some different stuff across the board, but I'm still gonna be live. Bless you. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. You know, it's a really cool journey, man. This sharing the trading thing. I would have never imagined that it turned out the way that it did back when I first started. Made an Instagram, made a YouTube, you know, thought I had some juice, started putting out videos, started making some communities, right? That I would be on all of the major streaming platforms, right? I'd be on Top Step TV. I'd be on, you know, ASFX's The Day Trading Show. I'd be getting interviewed in person by a whole bunch of different traders. I'd be speaking at in-person events. It's just insane that I would end up with tens of thousands of followers across socials. You guys here on the live streams every day. Thousands of people in a Discord. It's insane, dude. It's absolutely insane. I'm grateful for it. I'm really grateful for it, man. I appreciate you guys. I hope you know it's not lost on me. I'm thankful. I'm very thankful. I think you could be a lot of different places. You could watch a lot of different people. You could hang out in a lot of different communities. I'm happy to cultivate something that you find value in. I'm very happy and grateful to be able to do that. So I'm looking to continue to do that, to just improve, right? You know, with growth comes shifts, man. With scale and trying to maintain what, you know, how and what I do, and have it make sense for, you know, people that are watching, have it make sense for me, for my family. Shifts, man. But I do quite a bit. Long form content on YouTube, short form content on YouTube, IG all day. I'm yapping on IG, making reels, making stories. I don't post too much on Twitter outside of live streaming. I live stream with you guys here in the morning for hours. Community that I would like to be, working with traders more hands-on, you know? So yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Wow, just a push to the upside. Just a straight push to the upside. Anyway, guys, get this form filled out. We got 3 minutes to go. We have Lucid Pro accounts up for grabs today. Someone's walking away with a 50K Lucid Pro. Which duck is going to take it today, chat? Who's getting it? We shall see. Yeah, guys, got about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Form is in the giveaways channel in Discord. Go ahead and get it filled out. I'm going to get the ducks ready to roll. I'm going to say this once. You guys have been cool. Everybody's been paying attention. But I'm going to say this once before we run the race. You have to have followed all the instructions in the chat. On the form, right? You have to be following everywhere. You have to be here in the live stream to claim the form, right? It's not to try to not give people the wins. It's to try to prevent scammers and spammers. You can't fill the form out multiple times. You can't use your brothers and your sisters and your grandmas and your cousins and any family member or close relative or friend's name or email that looks remotely similar or is from the same IP address or area. Because you can't do that with prop firms, okay? So you can't do that. If you do that, you're not going to win. Important for me to note that. And if you're not here in the chat on the live stream, I got to ask how the hell you got the form in the first place. All did. Awesome. I'm here. Lost every time. 1 to 2 seconds before. Ah, Normal. Did you win already once, though? Normal 0573. I thought I remember you winning. Zach's content creation journey has been like a marathon only and not a sprint. Yeah, it's been a marathon. It's been a marathon. Much like trading. Much like trading, right? Much like trading. Major sponsor? No. Good guess, Andrew Bags. I got a lot of sponsors. I'm partnered and affiliated with one time. Yeah, you won already. No complaining, Normal. You already won. You're ready to win a second time. You'll win again. No, I got a lot of partners and affiliates, man. I'm excited to be partners and affiliates and working with so many different companies that I know and use. Right? It's really awesome. So not that. Pro and his amazing deal. Took a payout from that account too. Nice. Oh, Normal was the one who took a payout from the free account. 0 to a payout. Yeah, I remember that. Now I remember. Savage. Awesome, man. Awesome. All right, guys. I'm going to give you another couple seconds here. Latecomers, last chance. Yes, you can win more than one time. I just try not to let you win the same time on the same day. That's just kind of like not fair to everybody, right? But you can win more than one time. I've got people that have won like 3 times now, guys. Listen, I'm just gonna go out on a limb, right? I don't like to speak in absolutes, but I'm gonna give you my opinion. Look at how many people are on the live stream. Look at how many people are on the live stream across all of the streams and in my Discord. I think this is the single best place that you can win a prop account. Based on the amount of people and the amount of prop accounts that I give away. Almost every single day I'm giving away prop accounts, sometimes multiple. Like yesterday, we ran 2 back to back. I don't have hundreds of thousands of people that sign up for the forum, right? Like Top Step TV used to do it all the time. Used to be nonstop, right? It's like thousands and thousands of people, you know? It's crazy. So, yeah, I think this is one of the best spots to win. One of the best spots. All right. Somebody put YouTube as their username. Dude, what is that? I said 11:15. We are... I think that's the last one. We're going to cap it right here. All right, guys, we're done. No more entries. Ooh, someone made it just under the wire. I'm going to put your name in there, but you made it just under the wire. All right. We have 70 some odd ducks in a row. We got 3 minutes on the clock. Good luck, everybody. Let's run it. I also was unable to take the account to fund it. Ah, I got you. Yesterday was the closest I came to winning. Nice, let's go. Yeah, bro, you don't have to say do it, bro, start, bro. Now, I mean, that's a little bit pushy, bro. I think you got to watch your tone. All right? My duck, don't F up today, please. All right, you made up with a funny comment. I won twice. Took one to... Oh, hell yeah. Digital Nukes won twice. There you go. Took one to funded. Yeah. Flex would be great. Yeah, maybe we'll do some flex in the future. For sure. Let's see who's going to get this one, man. You can't break out too early. I don't see my name. If you filled it out, your name's in there, brother. If this duck doesn't win, I'm having it for lunch. You guys gonna have duck for lunch? Giveaway is cool. Yeah, it's ducks time. Let's go, guys. Throw the ducks in the chat. Let's see who's taking the W on this one. I think, listen, there's been some theories. There's been some conspiracy theories around the Ducks. The Ducks without a lot of costume on them seem to be more aerodynamic. Okay, the naked Ducks tend to win a lot. They're very nimble. They're very lightweight. Also, Slothball, they're down here. Number one, way too early, bro. You bought the breakout. That liquidity is gonna get swept, bro. I told you about this. You can't buy the breakout. Mohi Udin, bro. You can't buy the. You can't be the first buyer, right? You gotta wait for a little bit of a pullback. Like, where is your stop loss gonna go? All right. No, it's random, guys. It's absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing to this at all. That's funny. Yeah, guys, I see a bunch of you say you can't see it. Listen, look, half the Ducks are on the screen. Your Duck hit a stop loss. He's back there. Again, it's a Google form. I copy and paste it in there. Your name's on here if you filled the form out. That's as simple as that. I can go back and double check for you, but I would just be wasting my time. Your names are on there. I can promise you. Let's go, my lovely Duck. Haha, we need death metal music background for the Duck race. Yeah, we can put some death metal on for the Duck race next time. Let's do that tomorrow. Remember, guys, I'm here live with you tomorrow. Again, 9 a.m. Eastern to finish out the week strong. I'll always keep you updated in Discord. Got some different stuff coming up as I'm cooking so much in the background. Hop in the Discord if you're here and you're in the Duck race and you're not in the Discord. Again, I don't know how the hell you got the form. But I always update the schedule in there, keep you updated. So, giving out accounts all week this week. 15 seconds to go. Jack holding strong. Like I said, man, I don't know. Aerodynamic Ducks looking strong. Oh, stop loss getting hit. He's running into sellers up here. The Bulls can't take it. Dre, out of nowhere, the Cyclops Duck. Oh, man. Dre, the number 41 Cyclops Duck, taking the W. Hold on, guys. Don't go anywhere. Dre's a Discord OG, so we don't really have to wait for him at all. I know exactly who this is. Let me just do a double check to see. Taking the Dubski, Dre. Is this the Dre that I'm thinking of? Let me just double check. Dre, are you in chat? The Dre that won. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This isn't the Dre. This isn't the Dre that I know. Dre, are you in chat? This is not the Dre that I know. Interesting. Let me do the double check then. We're gonna do the double check. I saw you in chat. You're in chat. Good job. Awesome. Did you do the rest of the stuff? Let's see. Let's see. Yes, follow it on IG. Awesome. Epic. You're going to take the W. Dre, I'm a girl. Oh, wait. It's a woman. Sorry. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Lady, by the way. Apologies. Please accept. I speak in this masculine bass tone. My wife yells at me about it. She says you got to stop saying guys and bro and man. She won. She took the W. Girl power. The Cyclops Duck. I'm sorry. There's a Dre that's been in my Discord for forever who I thought this was. Not that Dre. The other Dre. Dre, yeah. Awesome. W's in the chat for Dre taking the win. She's here. I was 9. Let's see what you guys had going on. No. Nitro Duck. Yeah, Nitro Duck came out of nowhere. Came out of absolutely nowhere. Dre, I will shoot you a message in Discord with this one. This one comes directly from me. The top one accounts come directly from them. Quick reminder, if you're in Discord, if you won something, you haven't gotten one from me yet, I think the people yesterday probably haven't received it. The 2 people that won Top 1 Futures accounts from yesterday probably have not received it yet. I'll follow up to make sure that you guys get them. For sure. But if you don't receive an account within like a day from me, shoot me a message. Shoot me a DM or an email or something. But Dre, you're going to get a code from me. Awesome. W's in the chat for that one. Guys, if you missed out on what the heck this was, we were giving out a 50K Lucid Pro account straight for the W. No purchase necessary. If you want to check out Lucid, link is going to be in the chat. Code RDF is going to get you 50% off. These are absolutely savage accounts. Let me throw it in the chat for you guys right now. Some of the best stuff out there. Again, code RDF is going to get you the best deal at all of the prop firms. Sloth! It's okay, I'm easily forgotten. You're not forgotten, my brother. You're the main man on Kick. You stand out like a sore thumb. It's great. Guys, this has been absolutely awesome. Get the payout. Get the payout, man. Get the payout. Trade it well. We're going to come back and ask you, Dre. No pressure. You do whatever you want to do. Guys, this was awesome. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. We are only going to run one today. We're only going to run one today. I will see you here live tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Kick and X. Hop in the Discord. Hop across socials. Real Deal Zach on IG and X if you want to check out my other socials. Quick disclaimer, guys. Remember, we might all be girls, Zach. Yeah, you guys are all girls. Sorry. Listen, ladies. You guys had a great time today. It's awesome. Listen, here's what I'll say before I give you the disclaimer. The market doesn't care whether you're a guy, a girl, a dog, a bird, a fish, okay? It's non-discriminatory. Doesn't care what color your skin is, doesn't care your sexual orientation, your religion, right? Your nationality. It's something I really do enjoy about the markets, and I try to hold that same standard. The candles do not care where you hail from, right? Or what you are. Equally brutal for everybody. Anyway, guys, quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Always do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop from accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimers as I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Like everybody you see scrolling across the screen, Lucid, everybody that we talked about today. Appreciate you guys being here. I will see you live tomorrow. I will see you in Discord.